Hey everyone, it's Maria, and today we're gonna talk about the latest love it or hate it film everyone is arguing about, The Joker. The Joker is an American psychological film directed by Todd Phillips, who co-wrote the screenplay with Scott Silva. The film, based on DC Comics character, starts with Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker. The look of the DC Joker was originally inspired by Conroy in 1928 silent classic The Man Who Laughs, a man whose face was disfigured into a grin by his father's political enemies. Actually, in mainstream movies today, dark is just another flavor like edgy. It's an option you use depending on what market you want to reach, and it's particularly useful when injected into the comic book genre. Believe it or not, the year's biggest disappointment has arrived. To be honest, The Joker is the most disappointing film of the year. Do you want to know why? Let's figure it out. Todd Phillips' solemn but shallow supervillain origins movie has a strong performance by Phoenix, of course, but is weighed down by realist detail and tedious material. It emerges with weirdly grown-up self-importance from the tulip fever of festival awards season as an upscale spin on an established pop culture brand. Last year we had Luca's solemn version of Suspiria, and now it's The Joker. From the director and the co-writer Todd Phillips, a new origin mess for Batman's most famous supervillain opponent. As we can see in the movie, Phoenix plays Arthur Fleck, a pathetic loser and loner in Gotham City sometime in the early 1980s. Arthur is a former inpatient at a psychiatric facility but is now allowed to live with his elderly mother, Benny, in her cozy apartment. Poor Arthur has a neurological condition that means he's liable to break into screeching laughter at inopportune moments. He has a crush on his single mom neighbor Sophie and pins to be a comedian, hero-worshipping cheesy TV host Maury Franklin, Robert De Niro. But he can only get a job as a clown, in grinning makeup and floppy-toed shoes, twirling an advertising banner outside a store, where he's bullied and beaten up by young thugs passing by. One day after the humiliation and despair become too much to bear, Arthur gets hold of a gun and discovers that his talent is not for comedy, but violence. Well, the casting of the Phoenix indicates more clearly how sexy Joker is supposed to be. Of course, there is a great production design by Marc Bridge, some tremendous period cityscape images by cinematographer Lawrence Sher, and a strong performance by Phoenix, though not his best. It's not as good as his appearance in Paul Thomas Anderson's The Master, of course. The film holds your attention up until Joker's terrible revenge bloodbath on the subway early on. After this, the film loses your interest with tedious, forced material about the Joker, supposed triggering of anti-capitalist, anti-rich movement with protesters dressing as clowns. Joker's now own criminal and serial killer career. I wonder if there wasn't any earlier script of the Joker. This Joker's genesis actually is mature and uncartoony compared to, let's say, Jack Nicholson's low-level crook Jack neighbor falling into a chemical vat in Tim Burton's Batman, turning him into the Joker with white skin, green hair, and rictus grin. Actually, there is no reason why Phoenix backstory Joker shouldn't be as powerful as Heath Ledger mysterious, motiveless, originless Joker in The Dark Knight. But at some stage, the comic book world of supervillaindom has to be entered, and Ledger was more powerful because he wasn't weighted down with all of this realist detail and all of this stuff. He wasn't forced to carry an entire story on his own. This Joker has just one act in him, the first act. The film somehow manages to be desperately serious and very shallow.